Before our game, we used a bit of the comments from the game when we played Thompson earlier on in the year, and Grapper was giving the boys a bit of a hard time, and I used that as a bit of ammo before the game, and I think the boys responded to that. So thanks, Grapper. That was great.
Well, there you go. A few words of wisdom from Geelong West Korean Football Club coach Stuart Scott there on how to win a match with Grapper's help. 5-4-34, Bell Post still they lead. Werribee Central's a quarter time, 4 straight goals, 24. They're working with a 3 or 4 goal breeze in that first quarter. And so we'll see how Werribee go in this second quarter with the breeze.
Yeah, I mean to congratulate you, Stuart, on air too about that great victory in the last home and away game, beating Thompson. Would have been a nice.
What was your aim in the last 6 games? To win 4 of them, Stuart?
4 out of the 6.
And what did you win?
We won the 4.
You won the 4,
6,
so
yeah,
that was a good finish to the season then.
Anarchy was probably our only disappointing effort throughout those 6 games. I thought we did quite well.
Was that the game after you beat Karayo?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
What's your lucky Tesla numbers, Stuart?
My lucky.
What's that got to do with anything, right?
Well, I mean, if you can
have you got that microphone far enough away from your mouth there? That's
I don't want to.
Oh, no, you don't want to deafen the viewers. No. Yeah, that'd be right. I could imagine. Werribee Central's coach Mick Foster just breaking up from a very long-winded speech there, I think. He's had a bit to say to the boys at quarter time. Cookie had, dispersed the players pretty quickly after his quarter time address. But the Werribee guys just coming back out now.
It's very hard to criticise yourself, isn't it?
Well, I suppose it is.
I just hope he can get involved in the proceedings.
You're not too impressed with Cookie's first quarter?
No. I didn't call looky once.
I did once. And I know you love calling it too, so you need him to do a bit more, don't you?
I want him to do a bit more.
Yes, just so you can call it.
I think Belpo still need him to do a bit more too, I think, through there. And it's going to be a little bit tough. That's where the ball's going to be won throughout the day. And Cookie's influence when he is in a bit of form is obviously very detrimental to the opposition. So I think Werribee will be happy with the amount of input Cookie's had so far.
And he's in the centre with Illick, Wall and also John Bartolo for Bell Post Hill. Delaney, Vilchins, Edgar and Darlow in the middle for Werribee Centrals. The umpire's just waiting for all the spectators to get off the ground here at Godfrey Street. And Brett, you did do a good job getting the tap up this afternoon. You're just a great technical coordinator, producer, whiz kid, whatever you want to call yourself. We've called him about 35 different names this year, but yes, you've done well, so well done. Start of the second term now, umpire Stan Espirito holds the ball aloft, and the second term of the elimination final for 1996 about to commence. Bell Post still 10 points in front. Illick and Vilchins, good bounce down 2. Gives them both a chance. Illick gets a tap down towards Cook. He can't pick it up though. He tries to get a second tap at it and he can't do so. Darlow just drops the ball onto his boot. Little toe poke from Vilchins. He's still got his foot in there, but they get the first effective kick away. Bell Post still through Illick. Goes towards Stosic. Held up a little bit in the breeze there. Worked Day under the ball, and Stosic was able to take the mark at centre half forward. The lead's on from Feldman. He goes in that direction. He's one out against Buck. He's very quick off the mark, and he's taken a good mark in front of his face there, Brett Feldman.
Good footy. Caught the full back there, Gareth Buck, napping. Didn't realise that the big fella Stosic was a left footer.
No, I was saying that Cosick was about to run into the space there, and obviously Cookie's instructed to leave it open and allowed Feldman to run in, so that's good discipline from Belbo still.
Oh, good kick, Feldman.
Great
straight
kick
through the middle to start the second quarter. Very well for Bell Post Hill. Their 6th goal, their 6-4, 40. They lead Werribee Central's 4 straight goals, 24 by 16 points on the GDFL Bingo Centre second quarter scoreboard.
Not a bad start, boys.
Very well. They started the same fashion in the first quarter. So they've the second quarter, a repeat, and they're 16 points in front now of Werribee Centrals. Feldman's first goal, the second goal this afternoon, 2 to him and 2 to Sveljak.
Just interesting to see that Belbo still haven't opted to put a loose man down there in the back line and try and fill that hole in. So Cookie's obviously got a lot of confidence in the midfielders to get first use out of the ball.
And one of them's David Wall, goes towards the wing now with his kick and half forward, but it's very wide there. Hits the laser right on the bonnet, and it's going to be a penalty-free kick. It's going to go to Werribee Centrals, and at half back there, looks like it's Hart.
Greg Hart it is.
Yeah, Greg Hart goes across towards All Day, puts him under pressure too. Cosick's right next to him and Drysdale. He dropped the foot, he's on hands and knees, tunnels it through his legs. Bartolo straight through and hurt Hart there. Oh, and umpire Stan Espirito has seen Greg Hart go with his hand to his head and has given the free kick once he's done that.
I think it might have been there, but he was a little bit late.
He was very late.
Yeah, he didn't see what happened.
No, not at all. No, that's right.
And you can't make decisions on things you didn't see.
That's right. But he has, and he's still down there. Greg Hart.
Can somebody tell Dick that their game's finished? He's still hovering out
there. The magpie on the half-forward flank there.
He's been there for the whole day.
So he's still down, Greg Hart, and the trainers are around him. So we've just got a bit of a break in the play.
Oh, well, it was a nice little backhander.
What's wrong with you, Brett?
There wasn't anything in it. It was like
Didn't say that at all.
Well,
you need to get your ears done.
He's up now, so it's okay. And he's got the free kick at half-back on the outer side for Werribee Centrals.
He's got the ball, that's the important thing.
That's exactly right, and he's up with it now. And he had a lead on from Vilchins, but the umpire now has said he has to go off with the blood rule, I think it is, yes. So Greg Hart to come off. And we're going to have a further break in play because we have to wait for the player to come on and take Greg Hart's position on the ground.
Better players in that first quarter of football, Stewie. I didn't get a chance to ask you that at quarter time.
I think Darlow, excuse me, I think Darlow in the centre, I think who could be Cookie's direct man. I think he set up a lot of Werribee's forward thrust, and I'd say he was probably their better player. They're getting a bit of run out of the half-back line from Cunningham and Delaney, who's obviously playing in a ruck rover type role, but he's working from the half-back line. Hart in the back line, Hart on the wing, and Morley on the half-back flank again has created a bit of run. And for Belpo still, I thought Wally was great, especially early on in the piece. He gave him some opportunities. Hancock cross half forward, and Cossack on the half forward line probably created a bit for Belpo still, and they'd be disappointed they didn't get the results, considering they had the ball for a fair time. And I thought Batty at full-back has done a great job.
Good call.
Rick Hansen on the ground for Greg Hart to take the free kick from half-back, so he gets the easiest kick he'll get all day, goes towards the big man Vilchins. He's good tackle too, second effort there from the big man. Matty Lewis on hands and knees, works hard. In fact, it's Cameron Carr. Looks like his brother there.
Show of form there for Vilsons. I think normally he would eat that type of that ball, and it's now gone back to a ball up where we should have perhaps been going into the forward line thrust.
Illick and Vilchins. Illick gets his left fist to it. Sean Lewis straight through the pack. Little left foot kick. Running at it. Cameron Carr attacked it. He's got Scooter in support. Kicks it across the ground towards Spicer. And Hancock runs straight at it. Good work, but doesn't get the footy. Edgar. Handball out to Morley. Good shepherd too from Harton. Morley on his right foot, which is not his preferred foot. Oh, Lewis and Wall. They muck it up. Oh, pushed over towards Batty and Kochevatkin going out there also. But Nathan McClure to finish it off for Bell Post. He'll see it over the boundary line.
Mark Hancock
Yep.
Injured the right shin in that little clash and is a little bit tender, but I think he'll run that out of himself. He's pretty tough. Ball now right half foot off. Wilson's clever over the back. Yeah, that was good desperate football there. It was a Cameron Carr.
Yep.
And we see support there, Louis, doing well. That was the vice captain in Matthew. Over the top to Wall. The skipper, long bomb up there looking for Hancock. Support by Cossack, but his hand pass intercepted. Now Spicer under pressure. Taps it forward. Good work, Delaney. Back to the run of Spicer. Under pressure. Bartolo caught one from Spicer.
Yeah.
It was fair from here.
Yeah,
Umpire
a little bit
started
unlucky,
to
I think.
panic. There was nothing in that. It was a grip and shoulder for mine, and Johnny Bartolo knows it.
Pretty tough
He'll
Spice.
take
He
possession.
got a couple of knocks there when he was running through, and then he didn't slow up.
Goes towards Stosic with one hand. Oh, brought it down beautifully. Oh, threw it to Scooter, but the umpire was on the wrong side, so got away with it. Free kick down the field, and they're going to play on advantage. Sean Lewis get two bounces inside 50. Three bounces, running and kick the goal, youngster. He goes in the right, measures it, and kicks it straight through the middle. Sean Lewis, and great play from the middle of the ground again.
Funny old game, this footy.
And Sean Lewis, third in the under-18 best and fairest count on Wednesday night. Sixth best on grounds for the youngster, so he's had a very good season.
Get the adrenaline pumping, did it? As he kicked the ball, I had a big tingle down my spine from that kid. Very cool, wasn't he? Bounced it three times.
So
and then
good
got
boys
his posure.
to try and bounce it 3 or 4 times. I mean, a lot of times they'd try and they'd get within their normal kicking distance and have a blaze at it, but he's ran it in a couple of extra bounces just to make sure of it.
22 points of difference, 7-4-46 Bell Post still. Werribee Central's 4 straight goals, 24 on the GDFL Bingo Centre. Second quarter scoreboard back in the centre. Tap down from Vilchins to Darlow, wrapped up by Cook, falls towards Barry Delaney. He can't pick up Scooter, uses his body well. Drysdale there and McClure also. Short little kicks okay to Illick. Handball back to Cook, gets wrapped up, falls towards Drysdale. Good hands, turns onto his left, goes wide towards Hancock against Cunningham. Uses the body beautifully there. Just a little bit of a nudge and got the mark. So Hancock now at half forward.
He's got better.
He's got Illick at centre half forward, but he goes wide towards Tommy, and Sveljak takes it on that chance.
Tantalising! Tommy Sveljak plays on now the driving drop punt.
Oh,
Melbourne!
good mark. Isn't that a great mark?
Certainly is.
Gee whizzy.
What sort of strength is that? That is great strength, isn't it?
Certainly is there, Jason. I've just noticed with the first quarter when the ball was probably coming down a little bit harder with the wind behind it, and now the ball's sort of sitting up a little bit. He's had a couple of opportunities to take some strong marks.
Very quick over the first 10.
Very good.
super quick. That's twice now on the same spot that he's beaten Buck.
Memory.
And line up for his third goal that day. Measures the kick. Has it just veered away? I think it might have at the end. It has. And one behind to the full forward, Feldman. So Bell Post Hill 7-5-47 lead Werribee Essentials 4 straight goals, 24 by 23 points on the GDFL Bingo Centre second quarter scoreboard. We've been going at 7.5 minutes in this second quarter.
Now ball being brought back there. Umpire suggesting that the goal umpire had not completed his task. Gareth Buck, you should know better. Brings the ball out now. Straight down the corridor he goes. Shortest way home, but Cookie. Looky! Here comes Cookie now, the leader of the band. Coach of the side. Opportunity to drive them. Oh, he's gone to the defensive side of the ground. Up there, David Wall back at the back, couldn't take the footy. Loose ball, Day under pressure, feeds it off there.
Good work, Stosic.
Good work, Hanson, but Stosic's in the way. And the big fella, and pick it up, son. He can't because Wally snavels it quickly, puts it up there to the teeth of goal, but Cunningham!
Great mark.
Great grab, last line of defence for the Centurions.
Cunningham goes towards Vilchens at half-back, takes a mark in front of Illick. And the big man now to drive the Centrals out of defence. Goes back in towards a centre, Darlow and Hennessy. Cook over the back, Wall roved at the back of the pack. Left foot kick back towards half-back Galauka. Leads Cossack in the race for the ball. Goes across the ground towards Luddick and Lewis. Luddick played for the free kick, didn't get it. Cameron Carr across there. They've got the numbers now. Bell Post Hill can run it out from half-back. Carr out towards Sean Lewis and Hanson on the ground. But the kick is too wide. And the youngster's not going to be able to keep it in. It's going to be a boundary throw. And just on the attacking side of wing for the Panthers.
23 points the margin. Bell Post Hill doing it nicely. Elimination final for 96 GDFL footy at the home of the Thompson Tigers, Godfrey Street Oval. Ball back into play. No one can get a handle on it now. Morley, who's been busy for the Centurions, screws it back on his left foot. The bouncy ball, though, a cruel one for Luddick, but not so bad for his opponent there in Matthew Lewis. The vice-captain of the Panthers goes very defensive and finds the boundary line out of sight, centre wing.
So 7-5-47, 4 straight goals, 24 the Centrals, 23 points of difference. Vilchens goes twice at the footy, gets it down towards Delaney, breaks the tackle, gets a handball, good to Slade Hennessy, running past is wrapped up. Galauka goes towards Luddick, keeps it in front of him, got Kochevatkin in support. Luddick now with the left foot in towards Matheson and McClure, bounced over goal. Buchanan. Matheson worked the handball across to Buchanan there, and an easy goal.
Hennessy kicked it, wasn't it?
No, it was Buchanan, I think, in the long sleeves.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it?
Do you think it was
I
Hennessy?
gave it to number 12, Slade Hennessy.
Stewie?
I think you'll find that it might have been Buchanan, and he's got black tape on the back of his number 12 to make it 42.
Obviously, I'm going blind.
It is 12, but I think there is a bit of black tape there indicating 42.
Buchanan has got sleeves on,
yeah,
and the bloke that kicked it had no sleeves on. But Jason's called it that way, so therefore
thought it was a guy
that
on
must
the
be the
sleeves.
right one.
I thought it was a guy on the
wait till Monday
sleeves.
night at the...
Well, we will.
We'll give it to Werribee, eh?
Yeah, let's do that.
At the end of the day, that's what
sensational. 5 straight goals.
They've kicked well, haven't they? 30 points. They trail Bell Post still 7-5-47 by 17. Illick gets a good tap down. Drysdale can run onto it. Feldman and Sveljak lead. He goes in towards Sveljak. The legs are pumping. Galauka goes there as well. Oh, Tommy from mid-air goes towards Feldman and also Gareth Buck. But Buck takes the mark in the last line of defence now. In the back pocket, plays on, goes towards Craig Darlow. Lewis goes up with him. Good thump away too. Edgar, shepherded by Delaney, gets kick straight back into the air. Hart and Lewis. Adrian Hart in front, tapped away by Lewis, but it was over the shoulder, was it? Well, umpire Santa Spirito doesn't know how to call over the shoulder because he's called holding the man, so Hart takes it from half back. Scooter leads Vilchens in the race for the ball. Plays on quickly as he always does. Goes right foot good to Cossack at centre half forward, takes the mark in front of Morley.
Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise packet, this kid. A lot of the
He's
football.
played well.
Yes.
Leads on from Feldman, but he elects to go towards, he does, but there's 3 in front, falls towards Feldman and Sveljak. They both overrun it there. The ball went straight through their legs. Sveljak again, free kick found for a hold. And it's going to go to Galauka, is it, or Gareth Buck? Galauka it is.
I think Werribee would be looking to get a little bit more out of Robbie Edgar. He's been very quiet, and he's when Werribee are playing well, or probably vice versa. When he's just playing well, like, they move the ball a lot better. He's got great skills, and he generally picks up his 30-odd possessions a game as he just gets a kick now.
Yeah, there he is. Got the handball from Vilchins and a good kick too to Buchanan. Buchanan now, the right foot is a good. Measured the pass towards Matheson, all coming out batty. Kept it in front of him, which was good, and he gave Matty Lewis a chance at half-back. Little left foot kick around that corner. Buchanan can't take the mark. Christensen stands his ground. Tried to handball over the top to Lewis. Spicer in front though. Lewis right on his hammer. Wall. Watch him run away. He does. Yeah, through the centre of the ground. Left foot kick over the back towards Stosic and Bartola. Great kick. Great kick from David Wall. And Stosic takes the mark inside 50. Gets around on his left quickly. Goes out wide towards Sveljak and Hancock. They both stand their ground. Sveljak's there. Galauko right next to him. Oh, high tackle was it? Sveljak played for it there, but it's not going to get it. And it's out of bounds. Boundary thrown about 25 metres around from the Bell Post Hill goal.
Yeah, David Wall measured that well done there with that pass in this breeze. Quite tricky, but found Stosic at centre half forward, who's been quite a valuable player for them. Taking the boundary throw in now in front of Vilson's. Got it down there to Bartolo. Lost the footy. Now going in there was good work from Drysdale, who I've liked his game too. Very cool in the crisis. Cook grabbed without it. Loose ball spills to Stosic again. The left foot kick. Oh, Feldman nearly took it. But he was holding Gareth Buck, and he'll get the free kick, the full-back for the Centurions.
Buck now wants to switch play to the outer side. Goes in that direction or two against one. Cossack. Oh, good mark. Great mark and plays on past Adrian Hart. Outside 50. Tried to measure the pass towards Sveljak. Chopped off though by the big man Day. Gets around easily. Sean Lewis goes towards the wing. Slade Hennessy, and he takes the mark on the wing. Hennessy now directs play back in towards centre half forward. Up there, Illich, and also from behind Lewis. Luddick was the only Werribee Central's player. Matty Lewis backs himself, as he always does. Got the ball on a string. Goes with his left boot towards centre half forward. Barry Delaney getting back there, and also Cunningham falls to Stosic, the big man. Goes with his left boot, but he's missed it to the far side, and one behind for Stosic. And
creating a problem, Stosic.
He is. You said that at quarter time, but yeah, he could come into his own in the second quarter, and he has done so. 14 minutes gone in the second quarter. Bell Post still 7-6-48 lead. Werribee Central's 5 straight goals, 30 points on the GDFL Bingo Centre second quarter scoreboard. Kick in by Buck, goes to the outer side half-back flank, goes towards Hanson, also Sean Lewis. Great little tap on two to Cossack, who gets away, goes to the right boot, puts it up towards Feldman, and Buck Feldman. Yes, he was first 5 metres again away from Buck and took the mark in exactly the same position as he kicked his last goal and his last behind.
Bit tricky from here though with the breeze over his left shoulder. He's got to measure this very, very nicely. He's got to aim for the left goal post. Keep it low.
Well, here he goes now. He's going to run in. He's done exactly that, Ron Brain, and has gone exactly through the middle for a goal. And you should be coaching Bell Post Hill. Feldman 3 goals and, well, pushes Bell Post Hill's lead out again. 8-6-54. They lead Werribee Central's 5 straight goals, 30 points. And it's 24 points of difference on the GDFL Bingo Centre second quarter scoreboard.
Yes, I tell you who I'm very impressed with, and you haven't really mentioned him so far on the call, but his tap ruck work has been quite good to watch, this young fella. Don't know where he's come from, this Mick Illich, where they've been hiding him. But I tell you, he's been very influential in the dominance of their midfield players because he's getting it to them.
Well, when you were drinking Crownies at Geelong, Brett and I saw him up there against when Bell Post Hill played at home, and he was very good there. That back towards centre half forward for Bell Post Hill, but the mark taken by Paul Day. And he's going to drive it long to the outer side. The lead from Vilchins. Illich is there with him. Also, over the back, Christensen gets a little deft right foot kick towards the boundary line and finds it a half-back for a boundary throw-in. Yes, we saw him a few weeks ago. And I think that day they played... who did they play? I think it might have been Corio, actually, we saw him against, yes.
Okay.
Darren Aitken, and he played very well that day too.
16 and a half minutes gone in the second quarter. Scoreboard shows Bell Post still leading by 24 points. There's been a ruck infringement out there on the left half forward. Brenton Vilsons now drives it up, and the courageous Wally Wall takes a screamer. Plays on foolishly, though. Kick was well smothered. Now the Centrals go to attack. Luke Luddick with good hands. Over to Edgar, who's had a bit of a dirty afternoon. He's all wrapped up. Good umpiring. Lets the play continue. Tap forward, dangerous football. Darren Harton, who loves to kick a goal, would have, only for Cameron Carr. Takes a great grab last night at defence.
He's been good this afternoon. Also Cameron Carr, him and Matty Lewis. Dangerous across the half-back line. Getting back there. Buchanan smothers the ball. Christensen back there in support. For Bell Post Hill, kicks it across the ground looking for Illich and goes up with Slade Hennessy. Falls to the back. Vilchins at 50. Handball. Puts Matheson under pressure. McClure is there also. Wraps him up. Bottled up now and a bounce. About 45 out from the Werribee Central's goal. They've only managed 1 goal in this quarter with the breeze so far.
Ronald, you're never wrong. I'll give that goal previously to Slade Hennessy. That's who it definitely was.
Thank you very much.
Right again, mate.
Okay, bounce down off Wilson's good knock this time. Put his teammate under a bit of pressure though, who got a quick kick, but it's snavelled by Louis. Good work there from the vice-captain in Matty Lewis. Goes over the top there to McClure. Looks out there for Stosic, who's got that football on a string at the moment. He just fiddles it up. Lovely work to Sean Lewis. Louis, pick it up, son. He can't. Hanson's there though for the Centurions. Day could have been pushed in the back. No, said the umpire. Boundary throw in. Out of side centre wing. And, Bell Post still 24 points up, 18-minute mark in the second quarter. GDFL Bingo Centre bringing you the term.
Back in now, Vilchin, Stosic at the back. Vilchin's just a little palm down. Bartolo, Cook off the ground towards Cosick, who tries to tap it on. Rove there, Drysdale running through Morley. Cunningham's there also. Can he pick it up? He handballs back to Morley and puts him under pressure. Running straight through is Lewis. That's Sean. Little kick by Adrian Hart. Bartolo can pick it up cleanly. Kick around the corner towards Spelljack. Sits and waits, then can't pick it up. Drysdale there, also Hart and Galauka. Galauka all kicks across the ground. Danger here. Hancock can sit, and Harton runs to take the mark. He's got Lewis.
Put it on, mate.
He's got Nathan Lewis in the pocket, but he's going to go for goal, is he?
Never turn your back on the footy, boy. You better kick the goal.
Oh, he's done so, has he, Feldman? No. Was it a goal? Yes, he has. It's home.
I think he's lucky.
He's very lucky there.
He saved his name.
He had to kick the goal after not seeing Nathan Lewis in the pocket there. But
that's a fundamental sin. Never turn your back on the play.
Two things that worked there. I mean, we had Lewis running into the forward pocket, and that's at the same time, that's probably the spot where Feldman's been leading into. So he had to go back and kick the goal because he's probably mucked up 2 set plays running on and also blocking in Feldman's
Which way
area.
is the wind blowing, gentlemen? Because we've been made look like idiots.
Well, that's right, exactly. I think it's just the better play of Bell Post Hill. 9-6-60 they lead. Werribee Central's 5 straight goals, 30 by 30 points on the GDFL Bingo Centre second quarter scoreboard. Scooter off the ground, works hard again. Day and Morley are there. They both overrun it. Day on hands and knees now. Throw it out to Bartolo, who's been very good in this second quarter. Goes towards the leader, Feldman. Can he make it? No, he can't, but he traps it beautifully. Handball over the back. Galauka, Stosic off the ground towards Feldjack. He's got Hancock in the square if he can get it back to him. Feldman, close to the boundary line, just thumps it forward. Running there, Cunningham gives it the Hart. Good handball. Back to Galauka. Settles now towards half forward. Christian Scooter works hard with the body there against Vilchins. Cook now runs straight at it. And the boundary line, can he keep it in? No, he can't. He thought he could. Then Hennessy was right next to him, and it's going to be a boundary throw-in at half forward for Bell Post Hill. And we've been playing 20 minutes in this second quarter. Boundary throw in, Illick over the back. They've got the numbers to the foot of the ball. Walls there, handball towards Cosick, who sits and handballs to Scooter. Oh, good pick up. Little kick's okay. Hancock behind Cunningham on this occasion, but wrapped up and threw the ball away. No free kick. Handball over the top, Bartolo to Feldman. Can he get away? No, he can't, but it's a good handball. Hancock, if it sits through him, it doesn't. Right next to him, Hanson tries to tap it back. Hanson there now, handball, oh, not to Cunningham. Bartolo with the boot. Handball to Drysdale on his good foot too, on the left foot. But he's pushed it across the goal, and it's going to be a boundary throw-in just around from the behind post for Bell Post Hill.
Aren't Werribee Central's fumbling a lot?
Oh, yeah,
They
pressure.
Yeah, I was just going to say, with Feldman there too, a bit of experience coming. Once he got tackled, he didn't just throw the ball away. He knew he had a little bit of time to get rid of it, and he spotted the Bell Post Hill player, and he put it in the spot.
Stosic got the bounce down to Cosick. His kick smothered. Vilchins there. Goes out towards Feldjack and backwards towards Day. Handball to Edgar, who Stewie said has to get into the game a little bit more. Goes with his left boot towards the wing. Hennessy, Scooter, right next to him. Taps it away. Wall, if he can pick it up. He's got support Bartolo, but he didn't shepherd well enough. Wall, though, still worked hard. Gave it to Bartolo. Great play. Right foot kick long. Vilchins back there in front of Feldjack and takes the mark. Goes towards Buck, who ran over Dick Philpott there, and he ran away. Galauka now at half-back, bounce, and draws the player, goes wide towards the wing. Matheson, McClure, tap away on Matheson. Good grab. Good grab, the big man at centre-half forward.
Yeah, nice mark there from the centre-half forward for the Centurions. David Matheson now, centre wing, drives up, look to half forward, but Wally Wall should have held it, couldn't do so. High tackle, I think you'll find, yes, against you, young fella. The full forward in Kotchavaken has impeded
Got a cookie in the middle.
And that was the, that's Christensen.
Yes, it was. Goes short to Illich and then shorter to Bartolo at half. Yeah,
Cookie was real happy with that. I think he should have gone on there.
Bartolo now runs. Stosic and Day. Day gets two hands to it, but he can't take the mark. Handball is okay to Drysdale. Little kick smothered by Hart. He didn't even know it was coming there. Drysdale just taps it out towards Sean Lewis. He's got support with his brother Nathan Orr. Showed the footy. Then goes towards Galauka. Does a bounce over the head? No, it doesn't. Miggy goes towards the safety of the boundary line. Hancock and Morley, and they'll see the ball over it about 35 metres around from the Bell Post Hill goal.
And Cookie just explaining there to Bartolo, we 2-on-1 situation. If we possibly could have handballed over the top, we would have set up a loose man, but we've given Werribee sort of time to block it up and get it back to the boundary line.
Cossack goes up for the ruck against Filchins, and he hurt the big man there too. Kick around the corner. He's back towards Illich and Wall. They could have raffled it, and they both mucked it up. Matheson's there. Hennessy, little handball's good to Darlow. Darlow with the right boot, one-on-one now. Batty goes out, can't take the mark. Lewis is back there in support also. Kochevatkin, good little punch out too. Luddick towards Buchanan if he can pick it up, and he's missed it. Oh, well.
Didn't settle at all, did he?
No, golden opportunity, and the pressure there just got to Buchanan a little bit.
Bit of lack of talk from both sides there. I mean, we had a little bit one here with Worley back here before. We probably should have called his teammate back. And then again in the forward line there. I mean, it was great work by Luddick to take the ball on, but I think a bit of verbal support as well would have secured a goal there for sure.
Day off and Brunado on to go to centre half back against Stosic. So obviously Mick Foster seeing that Stosic has been influential in this second quarter. Kick in by Batty, short to Scooter and then short to Christensen. He goes short towards Nathan Lewis, and that's a good kick at centre half back.
Hit the mark very well at that belt base.
They are. Into the breeze, yep.
You know, they've only got a couple of metres on their man, but they're confident enough to put the ball there out in front and give them a chance to running on there, and they're not letting each other down.
Lewis goes long towards centre half forward. Brunado just on the ground. Stosic taps it away. Hansen, can he trap it? Yes, he does. Handball backwards towards Morley. He wraps his opponent up, but Sean Lewis runs away. Little kick towards Bartolo across centre half forward. Edgar running at it, and good pick up too. Robbie Edgar runs backwards. Cossack can't pick him up. Left foot kick across the ground towards Hansen's okay. Drysdale though right next to him. Morley, they're 2-on-1. He worked very hard there, Drysdale. He did well. Cookie goes with the right boot long towards Hancock. It takes the mark too. Just inside 50, right on the boundary line. He's got Sveljak and Feldman 2 out. Sveljak gets away now. Feldman there with Buck. No movement though. Feldman, little lead. He's going to go in that direction now, is he? Yes, he is. Close to the boundary line. It might be too far. It is. It's out of bounds on the full free kick to Buck.
Yeah, very negative lead though too. I was very disappointed there that Sveljak didn't get the opportunity because Sveljak led up the corridor, which was the perfect spot, but ignored as Buck now drives it about 70 metres. A beautiful kick from defence. Bernado's there. Thumps it away from Stosic, and it's been quite interesting since Bernado's come onto the ground. He hasn't stopped hassling the big fella Stosic.
See, Feldman, he does lead to the pockets most times. Obviously, if there's something they have spoken or they've talked about that, and that obviously has worked in the past, so they're sticking with it.
Cook got the secondary tap there towards Bartolo, and Cunningham. Bartolo towards the boundary line. Bernardo will just see it over as well, will he? No, it's a push in the back, and Bernardo's going to get it. He tried to go for the boundary line, but couldn't get it. But got the free kick instead. 24 minutes gone in this second quarter, and 50 as well against Bell Post Hill there. And Bernardo to come right up the ground, and gee whiz, umpire McMaster sells land better than umpire Santa Spirito. He's right up on the wing now. Bernardo now to drive the Centrals deep into attack. Goes long towards Matheson. McClure right next to him. Over the back, Wall and Christensen. And Wall sits, gets around Luddick, does he? Yes, he does. Lewis shepherds through him. Buchanan came straight at him, so he kicked across the ground towards Lewis, and Hart and Lewis leads in the race. Well, that's Nathan Orr. The ball trapped away by Spicer, though. Matheson worked hard on hands and knees.
Great work.
Bottled it up there, Batty, and David Matheson worked hard and wanted to go on with it a little bit there.
Great second half there by Nathan Lewis. He probably should have taken the ball away there the first time. But
well, he handled it pretty well initially, but then just dropped it at the last minute.
Probably the 3 or 4 players that were there, even if they weren't giving physical pressure, the mental pressure was there. He did obviously see them in his vision, and to hold it up and give himself another chance was excellent.
Batty big thump. Darlow trapped it though. Then back towards Matthew Lewis. And a little kick across towards Edgar. He's wrapped up, all bottled up by Scooter. Little tap out back towards Scooter now to relieve the pressure, but only as far as Barry Delaney at 45. Plays on quickly, goes to the left boot. It's high. Christensen back there, and, well, he's just missed it anyway. So one behind to Barry Delaney. And we see that Sean Lewis was off for that indiscretion, that 50-metre penalty, and Tom Jurek came on for Bell Post Hill, number 18. And that's 5-2-32 Werribee Centrals, 9-6-60 Bell Post Hill, 28 the difference on the GDFL Bingo Centre. Second quarter scoreboard, kick in, Scooter, trapped though by Spicer now. Carr ran at him and tackled him just at the crucial moment there, because put him off his kick. And another behind for Werribee Centrals.
Slow there again. I think Spice sort of thought he had a little bit more time. There wasn't that talk around you.
No
and
peripheral vision
you
at all.
generally try not to think that if there isn't the talk around you, that you are clear. And so Spice has done the right thing there to take a couple of steadying steps. But once again, it's two in about 2 minutes that Werribee have had a chance to get a couple of goals, and I think the lack of talk has let them down.
Kicking by Batty towards centre half back. Nobody can take an effective mark. Hansen, short little kick. The lead's on from Kochevatkin, and he takes the mark. As the rain starts to come down here at Godfrey Street as well. And the full forward will have the chance to kick his first goal this afternoon, and a badly needed one for Werribee Centrals at this stage. 27 points of difference, 5-3 to 9-6.
I think a goal here would be just, in general play, I think in the last 5 minutes, Werribee sort of turned it around a little bit. They just need a goal here to reward themselves.
Well, he comes in now, but he's pushed it across to the near side and has missed. So a bad miss there directly in front with the breeze behind him. One behind. So 5-4-34 Werribee Centrals. They don't get the desired result. 9-6-60 Bellpost Hill. GDFL Bingo Centre second quarter scoreboard. We've been playing 27 minutes in this second quarter.
Batty elects to come to the members' side this time, and Johnny Drysdale, who's been a bright light for the Hill, and they haven't had too many dull ones so far, chips it in there, and a good mark. Illick, the big ruckman for the Bellpost Hill side, takes it at half back. Steadies, looks up the ground, sees that there's Hancock, but in front Hennessy, knocked away from him. Comes to ground, Buchanan, Drysdale do battle. Bartolo, hands and knees, feeds
Good
off the hand
handball.
pass to Wally. Wally, lovely long bomb. Tommy, tantalising. Lost his footy, but good enough to get up. Can he screw it back over?
Tommy!
He has! That's the goal of the afternoon!
And doesn't he put on the show for Ronnie Brain?
Had it under control or something. He probably had an option there maybe to give a handball, but Tommy's the ball a little bit slippery with this rain. He's decided he'd do it himself, and he's done it well.
3 goals for Speljack and Bellpost Hills 10-6-66. They lead Werribee Centrals 5-4-34 by 32 points on the GDFL Bingo Centre second quarter scoreboard. 28 minutes gone in this second term.
Great goal.
Well, it was. And him and Feldman, 3 each, and have been the focal points this afternoon for Bellpost Hill as the rain starts to come down a little bit harder here at Godfrey Street this afternoon, and that will not help Werribee Centrals. Back in the centre, Illick and Vilchins. Vilchins has to stand. Umpire Santa Spirito's over,
down.
which is good to see. Spicer will be feeling like a footballer now. Spicer gets the kick towards half forward, and Hennessy takes the mark in front of Scooter. Slade Hennessy now wants to go long. Matheson and McClure. Matheson's got the sit, but McClure worked hard. Buchanan, can he kick the goal this time? No, he's missed it to the other side. And one behind. So he's second of the quarter. And Werribee 5-5-35 trail at Bellpost Hill 10-6-66 on the GDFL Bingo Centre second quarter scoreboard.
Yes, Buchanan's an opportunist, and today is not making amends for the opportunities he's had. As Batty now, a lovely kick into the breeze, a beauty. He's kicked that 55 metres. Ground level Drysdale again does well to Hancock, who she didn't have a real lot of pressure on him there. Could have done a bit more with that, but couldn't find the target. And it's out of bounds now. Members side, half forward flank, and the Centurions into attack. And they need a bit of a rattle on. A margin 31 points, Bellpost Hill favour into time on of the second term.
Luddick takes it. Little left foot kicks. Luxor Fortune falls towards Barry Delaney, and he takes the mark. At centre half forward, the lead's on from Edgar, getting back there, Carr and also Christensen. But in the middle, Edgar takes the mark. And Robbie Edgar will have a chance to kick his first goal this afternoon.
Just staying at a few more touches, Edgar.
Yeah,
a few earlier on
he's
across
heard
the
you, Stewie, I
half-back
think.
line, well, he's obviously so important to Werribee Central's chances. So, a player of his experience and his ability has got to lift at this occasion.
Well, Edgar now to put Werribee's sixth goal on the board. He comes in, he's directly in front, about 35 out, and, well, he's sprayed it, I think he has too. So, just some costly misses in the last couple of minutes from Werribee Centrals. And they trail now by 30 points, 5-6-36 Werribee Centrals. Bellpost Hill 10-6-66. And the kick in by Batty comes grandstand side again. Measured it towards Hancock. Spicer in front. Can't take the mark for Werribee Centrals. Hancock keeps going. The umpire lets it go. He gets a little toe poke towards half back. Luddick, great little pick up with the left hand. Goes towards Edgar. Oh, it doesn't bounce well for him. Coming across Duke to get his first kick short towards Lewis and Hancock, and also Wall. Right on his hammer there is Cunningham. But it's not going to matter because it's half time. And, well, Bellpost Hill kicked 5 goals in that first quarter. And they've kicked 5 goals in the second. They, at half-time, are 10-6-66. And Werribee Centrals are 5-6-36. So in that quarter, we've kicked 1 goal, 6 Werribee Centrals. And Bellpost Hill have kicked 5 goals, 2. The goal kickers to half-time for Bellpost Hill, 3 to Feldman and 3 to Sveljak. Singles to Sean Lewis, Mark Hancock, Nathan Lewis and Jamie Cosick, while for Werribee Centrals, 2 to Luddick, 2 to Slade Hennessy, 1 to Matheson. So at half-time, Stewie, Bellpost Hill, well, we wanted to just wait and see how the second quarter went, but they're certainly in control of this match.
I think that scoreline you just mentioned about the goals and points each have kicked this quarter, and they've both had the same amount of scoring shots, but as Bellpost still did in the first quarter, both sides have wasted the ball kicking with the breeze. I think they've probably relied on letting the wind do the work. We're into the kicking into the breeze. Both sides have actually worked it up into the goal square and have been a little bit more positive and gone into the forward line with a little bit more purpose. And it's the game is there to be won still. There's sort of a 5-goal lead there, but Werribee's got to work very, very hard in this third quarter, and has shown that probably more goals are going to be kicked actually into the breeze, because I think the work rate factor means you've got to work a little bit harder. And but Bellpost will be walking off now very confident, and just noted there that Cookie was pretty quiet there in the first quarter. He didn't get a lot of the ball in that quarter, but Darlow hasn't had much of the ball in that second quarter, and he was playing very well in the first quarter, Darlow. So I'd say Cookie's gone back to the old. Back to the basics. If you're not getting many kicks yourself and your opponent is, you've got to change the style of game, and I think Cookie's tightened up very well there on Darlow. Galaka in the back line there, and he's done some good things for Werribee in the back pocket. As I said, Edgar just sort of started to get himself into the game a little bit, especially in the last 10 or 15 minutes when Werribee probably had 6 or 7 opportunities there to score some goals. And Spicer mentioned he's pretty physical sort of a player, and he gives a bump, he takes a bump, and he gets back up on his feet, and he continues to give his all for his club. And just to mention there for Morley on the half-back line, I think his work rate's very good for a young player. Obviously got a great future, and Werribee need him to obviously have a big last half, especially the third quarter, to try and give themselves a chance. Feldman, we mentioned that maybe it wasn't a great idea for him to full forward in the first quarter, but the second quarter he's kicked 3 goals. Himself and Sveljak worked very well together there. I thought Hancock had a pretty big quarter there for Bellpost Hill, as well as Cosick on the half-forward line, and they're doing a little bit of damage. So, the Werribee blokes are getting a little ball across the half-back line, but their opponents are as well. So perhaps they've got to go inside now and reanalyse the first half and perhaps tighten up a little bit more. And Illick in the ruck, as Ron mentioned, he's done a great job. He's probably doing a little bit more around the ground too than what Vilson's is, and I'm not convinced that Vilson's 100% because he's not quite getting the work around the ground that he normally does. And Stosic at centre-half forward. We thought that he might play a bit better once the ball was holding up a little bit more in the breeze, and he's played himself in front. And as soon as Bernardo came on, he stood in front of Stosic, and I think that's the sort of thing you have to do. You've got to play in front when you're kicking into the wind, and that probably go again over that 10-minute period when Bernardo came on that Werribee started to move in the forward line a little bit more.
Well, yeah, exactly, Stewie. They needed to man up, and man up they did here at late stages of that second quarter. So at half-time in the 1996 GDFL elimination final, Bellpost Hill can be very pleased with their efforts going in 30-point leaders here. Back with the action, Jason.
Of the second half on guest video. Yep, after this.